evening. We want to thank everyone for being here. We have some guests that have come to help us with our meeting. And of course, we have a large contingent of citizens and just different people. We appreciate every one of you being here. I would note that if you haven't voted when we're through, take time to do so. I know I wear this around, and sometimes I've been the one at 8 o'clock in the morning in the grocery store that said, oh man, I knew that, but I go vote. So these are reminders for those of us who are a little slower than the rest of us. So appreciate it. We're going to ask Chief Carpenter, did he jet out? Oh, okay, scared me. I thought he ran out. We're going to pick on Randy again and ask him to voice our prayer, and then if we can, when we'll have Councilperson Smith voice our pledge to allegiance.
You'll pray for me, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for many blessings. We thank you for this great country, this great state, and this great city that we each live in. Heavenly Father, we pray that you will be with our elected officials as they make decisions, and especially be with the city officials tonight as they make decisions based on information given to them. Pray that you will be with them and help them to consider it wisely, consider what will be best for the city in which we live. Pray that you'll forgive us all of our many wrongs. In Christ's name. Amen.
Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recreational Authority and the Clinton Airport Authority, and entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Rodoff?
Yes.
Trustee Hueblen?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes. No action items. City managers report for any of these authorities.
I just want to report, Council. I'd like to just report we had an estimated 1,000 kids come to our trunk or treat at Acton Park on Halloween. A great, nice little program. Make a safe environment for kids, so that if they don't want to go out and trick or treat, they can come to Acton. We'll continue to make that bigger and bigger, and I really appreciate our staff as well, volunteers and folks who gave candy and money to allow the kids to have fun. So it's a neat program. If you weren't out there, also like to thank the Methodist Church. They also came combined with us to make the trunk or treat happen. So and the carnival, and so we had a great time, and we appreciate those folks, and it was a nice program. So I just wanted to report on that. That's all I have for these authorities.
Steve, any questions from council related to these authorities? Audience participation, this would be under the Hospital Authority, Recreational Authority, and or the Airport Authority. If you have a question related to these authorities, this would be the proper time to bring that before the council. No audience participation. We'll go ahead and entertain a motion to, what am I missing? Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm all new on this side of that podium there. You know, I'm not used to being out here, and you asked for audience participation.
Yes, ma'am. There will be a slot later on.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just
In
had
fact, there'll be one under every authority, and then there's a catch-all under the city council.
Like I say, it's all new to me from
That's
the
okay.
side
It's
of
good to ask a question. Probably a lot of people were sitting out there wondering, and so that's what my teachers told me when I was in high school.
That's right.
There will be a couple more chances. We'll move on to an adjournment for this one. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Trustee Hueblen?
Yes.
Trustee Smith? Yes. Trustee Rodoff?
Yes.
Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes, moving on to the Public Works Authority, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Smith? Yes. Trustee Hueblen?
Yes.
Trustee Rodoff?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes. First action item, consider and adopt resolution number PW 1203 authorizing and directing BOSC, subsidiary of BOK Financial, take all the necessary and actions to obtain refinancing of the authority's Series 2003 revenue bonds and Series 2006. And open that up. I know we've got one here. Is there anything that you want to look at, Steve, before we?
Well, I'd like to introduce Chris Gander again, because we've made some alterations to actually save the city more money, and Chris has done a nice job of trying to help us with this. And Chris, you want to walk them through. You have a handout in front of you, and I think he can walk you through kind of what we're making changes to tonight.
This is the third time I've been out here, and so we kind of familiar with this format. What we've discovered working with Steve and Deborah is that we can basically refinance the 2006 bonds at the same time and get additional savings. You're not really giving up anything in doing that because those bonds matured in 2017 anyway, so you're not like giving up some big refunding in the future. So back on this sheet, the first column are your maturity dates. The second column is what your current debt service is on the 2003, 2006 bonds. And so in 2013 is $1,184,000. And then on the third column is showing what our projected debt service would be on the 2012 refunding bonds. And then the right is your savings for that year. So basically in 1/1/2013, your projected savings is $124,000 for that year. And then each year after that, it's about $10,000 until 2020. That's when basically you're going to pay all your debt off early. And this is the only debt you guys have outstanding this time. So that would save you $597,328 for a total of $1,094,675. As bankers always present value stuff back, so that's $953,000. Now, where some of the savings coming from, you have a reserve fund right now in those 2006 bonds. What we're doing is taking that and helping reduce the size of the issuance. So the net effect of that is $547,000 of that is your own money, those savings. So your net savings to the city is $405,000. So your gross savings is $1 million. You basically take out the $500,000 that's your own money you're getting back, and your net savings is $400-something thousand. So the reason we had to come back is the 2 times we came back before, we were just looking at the 03 bonds. We got authorization to refinance those. Now we're back asking for the authorization to also refinance those 6 bonds. Kind of goes back to the same thing we talked about last time, is your average rate combined on the 2003 and the 2006 bonds, which is in the blue box, is 4.36%. We're projecting right now, and it's actually gone down since I was here last time, that your rate's going to be around 1.65% on the 2012 bonds. So you're going from 4.36% to 1.65%. And as long as our underwriter does what they say they do, and that's what I'm here to do, and Steve will make sure it's done, this is what the savings will be. So with that, any questions? Okay. So I would recommend that approval.
Steve, comments?
I recommend approval, save the city money, save each month, pay our debt off early, and save the city over $400,000. This is a very, very diligent plan, and we should move forward on it.
I would say it's one of those things that I know things come up occasionally that between the city manager, we've had Deborah Blanchard involved for long enough now that she's very knowledgeable, and we've worked with BOK before on this project. So we appreciate all three groups of people. We appreciate what you've done. I think this is a great way to save the city money, and especially take advantage of the change in interest rates. Any questions related to this particular PW 1203 resolution from the council? Any questions or comments related to this from the audience related to this resolution, this action item? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution PW 1203.
Make the motion to approve resolution number 2012.
Trustee Smith? Yes. Trustee Marcy? Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Goodwin?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes. Consider and adopt resolution number PW 1204 authorizing sale, issuance, and delivery of bonds. Follow along, which we've talked a little bit about. Any comments, Steve?
No, this mirrors the last one you did. That was covers the 2003. This was same type of resolution, but we just need to pass it and continue on with this locking interest rate and such.
Any question from anyone on the council related to resolution PW 1204? Questions from anyone in the audience related to resolution PW 1204 authorizing sale, issuance, and delivery of bonds?
Does the first PW 1204, it says aggregate principal not to exceed $60 million. Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct, Chris.
We use that just in case something happens with reserve, but right now my estimate is $5,520,000 in principal amount. On this sheet here, it looks bigger because we have the interest included.
Even with that, the 2006 bonds?
Yeah.
Is that- Okay.
That's correct.
That's what I was questioning.
Any other questions related to resolution PW 1204 from anyone? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution PW 1204.
I make a motion that we approve adopt resolution PW 1204.
Trustee Hulen?
Yes.
Trustee Rhoda?
Yes.
Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes. City Manager's report for the Public Works.
I have none.
Audience participation. This would be under the Public Works Authority. If you have a specific question, this would be the place, or you can catch it under the City Council. There's a general under the City Council for audience participation also. Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the Public Works Authority.
So moved.
Trustee Hulen?
Yes.
Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Rhoda?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes, moving on to the Solid Waste Authority. We'll open up the Solid Waste Authority and entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Hulen?
Yes.
Trustee Rhoda?
Yes.
And Chairman?
Yes. One action item, and it is considered trash recycle proposal. Steve, you want to give us an overview on this?
Sure. Council, I know you read my commentary, but basically, we've had a tremendous amount of good feedback, town meetings. You asked and you authorized us to negotiate a possible contract with Republic for recycling, which would include our trash service. In multiple conversations with Ryan, we feel like we cannot do a contract with Republic. We recommend if you do, and you would like to continue on with recycling as a potential opportunity in the future, we need to send out an RFP, get proposals from other companies. I've even told this to Republic, they're fine with that, obviously, and then see what's out there. No obligation. You can review them, you can take a look at them. As you know, we have a survey asking folks, do they support recycling in this community? You can continue to get feedback with that. And then after you review those, you can then make another decision if you'd like to move forward or not. No obligation, just continues, actually gives you more information, and I think this is a good opportunity for us to see what's out there. So, we recommend you do an RFP, and we'll get that out this week. And we'd have it back for you the first meeting in December if you'd like to do it.
Do you have any idea how many companies might respond at all?
Oh, I've had a couple of companies already contact me, interested, so I would think 2 or 3. You had a Republic in the mix, and I think the city has an opportunity to look at this as well. What potential plan may we want to bid on as well? I mean, and I don't think anybody should not look at that. We've talked a little bit about the cost involved with the city, but I think it's important to look at all aspects, and I think we'd have 3 or 4 possible good recommendations, or I guess proposals from companies.
I would just like to see the recommendations isolated to recycling only, not include the trash service. You know, the citizens in the ward meetings, and we haven't seen the feedback from the surveys yet, but I would like to see it initially just for the recycling to see where we stand, and that include the city also coming up with some type of a proposal on how to maybe sustain something in-house. That's what I would recommend.
Well,
Just to just include.
No, that's good. That's good. I think, and we don't disagree with that. What we basically did at the very beginning, just to bring people to speed, we asked Republic came to us. We asked them to bring us a recycling proposal. We never asked for trash. That was their plan to make it work financially. So I would agree that the proposals we sent, or I guess the RFP we sent out, and I put a sample on your desk in front of you of an RFP. It's just talking about recycling, that we'd like to do recycling. And we leave it to the company to bring us a proposal, and they will provide a proposal. If you get detailed, we can just say recycling if you like. But I think I think you may get multiple plans and multiple ideas and multiple options from different companies.
I like the idea of getting multiple options. I hate to see us just totally just strictly go with recycling and then further down the line, we wish we would have went ahead and got that information. I'd rather have that information up front so that we're able to make a good decision. Citizens have given us a lot of feedback. And I think that's something that we need to hear also, not just from the public, but even some other companies.
One of the things we heard, and I don't know if Zane back there somewhere, he had a $39 million investment. I mean, that was what he brought to us, and we haven't really seen that, but $39 million, and it was limited on what we were going to be involved in. I'd like to leave it open to where anybody who has something they'd like to bring us, you know, if somebody wants to spend $39 million in Clinton, Oklahoma, I'd like to see what their proposal is.
I called him, I thought he was going to get that information back down here.
I actually have the information, but the gentleman that dropped it off does not represent them. So we were trying to set a meeting up with that company to find out potentially what this is all about. But we're looking into that. And they have an opportunity to provide a proposal as well if we do this.
We don't need to close any doors. We need to get all the options we can possibly get. And now, like, you may want the recycling, maybe some companies can't make it pay if they don't do trash, I don't know. But we need to have those options, more than two, so we can tell what it is that we need to do.
I'd like to see the city submit it.
I will do that.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
I would just say that my thought is we've really listened to the people on the privatization of the trash. And we have great service, and that's just my thought. I understand keeping the doors open, and we're just going to go back in the circle again of where we just came from.
Not necessarily, because you can just pick the options you want.
Yeah,
That's
all this is just.
And there might be some other company, Jason, might not need to do anything different with trash. If they want to run it like we're running it. We don't know. So I say we don't have enough information.
Well, I would also like to see, we don't have the results on the survey yet, but not everybody really wants it. We should have that information at our next council. We need that.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments by council? Questions or comments by anyone in the audience related to this? Yes, ma'am.
Just one quick question. On the survey, I thought it was a little vague, and I appreciate your talking and making the consideration that you have tonight on the proposal, at this point. But I think maybe a new survey should be sent. It did not address the Hispanic community. On my side of the street alone is 7 houses. 5 of those are Hispanic families. I'm sure I can't communicate with them myself, so I don't think they could probably read or understand the survey. So I would, if you're going to look further at this, I think maybe a little more detailed survey should be submitted maybe to the citizens. That's just my idea, Mayor and the council.
Appreciate that. I think some people took offense at the survey. The survey was very general.
Yes, I know it.
We were still at a very general point. I know there's some people out there that have a conspiracy theory that this is already done and locked away in the vault somewhere.
But that my concern was.
We're way down the road, and I think there's a lot of variables to it. So I don't know that that's the last survey. I don't think it necessarily said, we have said we believe if we get comfortable with this, I think the council represents the people. But I don't think that takes away the decision at some point in the future if you feel like you need to send that to the people. I mean, that's always an open option for the council. So, there's a lot of agenda, there's a lot of options out there for us as a council still, and that's kind of why I think this, just a general request to see who pops up. You never can tell. Maybe the city could come up with something that appeals to someone that might be interested in recycling. We'll have to see.
And I appreciate your decisions on that.
Well, you know what? We're all living in one. We all love the town. I've said this before in one of the meetings. Rod Surface uses the example, everybody wants to go to Norman, but we all go different ways. and I'll never question somebody's love of Clinton. Your opinion is as strong as mine, and we'll get to the decision we make. But when we're through, it's kind of like the president we're going to elect today. When we're done, we'll all pull together and go, well, that wasn't my guy, or that was my guy. But we'll pull together. So, any other questions or comments related to this as far as this agenda item to go out for RFPs? Yes, ma'am.
I just have one quick comment. Jason, I've been really impressed with your work on the council, but I couldn't understand at all taking off the plate an offer that is same in price, curbside recycling, which not many towns get a chance at. In this community, this size town, I can't imagine taking that off the table at this point. It's pretty amazing.
Sure. Any other questions or comments? Or vote on this? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to voice my opinion. I'm kind of with her. I recycle, but I have to have it bounce around in my trunk all week before I get a chance to go to Weatherford to do it. You know, I have something set up at work so we can recycle there, and I have to take it to Weatherford. And I think it would be really nice, and you know, we would be one of the only people to have this, where you didn't have to separate it out, you didn't have to drive it to another town. And I think that would just make us look, you know, more progressive. And I also feel like maybe it would also be an advantage point. We have a lot of people locally that are graduating from Southwestern, want to stay around here, looking for, you know, comparing them where I live, and I think that would also be a selling point to Clinton. I don't know, that's my opinion, but I already do it, and I have to drive it to Weatherford. So I think that that would be something really nice for the community to do.
Appreciate your thoughts. Any other?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does this mean that Republic's totally out of the picture? Can't they have a proposal too? This is it's just one of several. That's why I'm.
Yes, they would have an opportunity. Once you do an RFP, any company or any organization, and they provide references and a history, and then they could bid. They could be a nonprofit. The nonprofit that works with Weatherford, they could provide a proposal that may work. I don't know. And then again, the city could, you know, have a proposal that works.
I think during one of our board meetings, I don't know if it was a ward meeting or the first meeting we had with the Republic, we talked about how we used to have some old dumpsters that maybe could possibly use for recycling. Are we able to find out if we still have those, or?
The large bin.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Does anybody remember?
Yes, it's a large bin that we were
I
talking
believe we
about.
still have that. It's down in our yard now. It's been painted, but we have that still.
The kids at was it DECA? Because Matt Grable was
The
one.
student council,
Was
I
it the student
believe.
council?
I'm thinking it was student
It was
council.
a project of some high school kids years
It was
ago.
a high school project, yes.
So my reason for asking that question is we're getting so many people in a lot of our feedback and even at our meetings that are telling us that they're taking recycling stuff to Weatherford. Could we maybe see if we can put that bin somewhere and maybe at least put paper and,
It is down at
plastics?
the facility.
We actually, if you remember, we actually worked with Republic on offering that, and they'll pick it up for a fee, and we can continue to offer that. We can do that now. We need a better advertising of that. I think it's obvious. I think we're seeing. I think one of the things I'll just say is that through this whole process, a lot of people didn't realize that Glenn Smith had such a good facility, and they could do that.
Right.
And so we have a great facility that people can utilize in this community, and I think it could be a good facility for a drop-off for recycling.
I agree. I think if we can just advertise it, you know, there's one right there. I think we've got several people that are taking stuff to Weatherford, and
I think people are currently taking newspapers to schools.
some do.
Any other questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
Just for clarification, where does our trash end up now?
The Republic, it goes to our transfer station, which is out near our wastewater facility, and then Republic takes that to their landfill.
Which is where?
That's in Oklahoma City.
In Oklahoma City. I assume that all you councilmen have visited that Oklahoma City site, is that right, within the last year or so? So you're aware of what the situation is?
Why would we want to visit the land? You talking about the transfer station, the landfill that we're Republic has.
The ultimate one in Oklahoma City.
Why would we want to visit it? We have a contract with the company.
Yeah, well, just to see what the problem is.
I don't know that there is there a problem. I guess you may be aware of something we're not. The Republic's just been permitted for a new landfill, from what I understand, so I would not be surprised, I would be surprised if there's a problem. There are a lot of permits and a lot of restrictions. You know, Clinton closed its, and they started with those restrictions. Clinton closed its dump, and several other cities did too. You can drive by the facility up there, and I've driven by it a lot. It's a mountain in progress, I guess you'd say.
Yes.
But I've never been inside the facility. I've been to our transfer station many times. Any other questions or comments? I want to make sure everybody gets their chance. It is important. Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion. Would you please make this in the positive or negative as you make your motion, and then we'll look for a second.
I would make a motion that we seek proposals requested by Steve. In addition, I would also request the city submit a proposal on the recycling portion. Second.
Trustee Randolph.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes, City Manager's report for the Solid Waste Authority.
No other report.
Audience participation for the Solid Waste Authority. This would be if you have a question or something specifically under solid waste, and as I said, there'll be a catch-all under the city council meeting. Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the Solid Waste Authority.
Second.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy. Trustee Randolph.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes. Moving on to the Industrial Authority. If I can, there we go. Open the regular meeting of the Industrial Authority and entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
Trustee Randolph.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes. Consider bids for earthwork for the Robinson addition.
$53,000.
First one we're going to open up is Father Excavation and Dozer Service, LLC. You guys be careful leaving. Thank you all. Got the first one, and phase one grading, that is $49,910.42. $49,910.42. Yes, and that is Father Excavation and Dozer Service, LLC. I know that we've got a representative back left, so. Next one we'll open up is the Young Contracting LLC out of Oklahoma City. Phase one grading, Robinson Edition, $151,183. 151,183 and no cents.
I'd make the motion.
Do we have a representative? Well, I know we have a representative from Young. Father's here, I know. Do we have a Young representative from Young? Okay. As is our custom, normally, this is kind of, I think a blind man might be able to make this call, but normally we refer to staff approving the best and lowest.
Well, I just make the motion we approve the offer.
I'll second it.
Trustee Rudolph.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy. Trustee Smith.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes, and we appreciate that's a local group, we always like that. And they've helped us in many areas before, so. Back up. Second item, consider lease agreement with Zane Stinnett, DBA CQC Chemical Solutions LLC. Steve, you want to give us an overview on this?
Council, as we talked about in the last meeting, that Brainerd Chemical was looking to get out of their lease, and you agreed to do that pending another lease. Zane has provided a letter, I put a letter on your desk, working back and forth with him. He is a very similar company. We're going to do some renovations to the area, and I think it's good. We're going to pay the same contract, 5 years, and we recommend approval to move forward on that.
Questions or comments from council related to this proposal for a lease agreement with Zane Stinnett and DBA CQC Chemical Solutions LLC?
I move we approve.
Any questions from any other council member? Questions or comments from anyone in the audience related to this?
I'll second.
Trustee Rudolph.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy. Trustee Smith.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes. Third action item, consider acceptance of property transferred from City of Clinton to the Clinton Industrial Authority. And, Steve, I know we've talked about this, but
Well, council, you've got some property just up here on 183 in Frisco that one lot is in the industrial authority and the other few lots are actually in the city of Clinton. So you'll also see this mirror itself in the city of Clinton. We've had some folks that are interested in that property. And before we can really consider any options and really talk to you about this, we need to probably clean up some logistics, and it probably needs to be in, we recommend it to be in the industrial authority, so you can then decide what possibly you can accept and not accept at that corner. So we'd simply recommend that we transfer these. You approve that, then I will get a quick claim deed from Ryan to you in the future. But I want to make sure you feel that this is good, and if you approve these tonight, then we'll move forward on that.
any questions from council?
I move we approve transfer.
Trustee Rudolph.
Yes.
Trustee Huber.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Trustee Marcy. And Chairman.
Yes. City manager's report for the industrial authority.
Well, council, I would like to introduce a One Oak representative, Keith, and Keith Smith, and we're gonna and I think he's gonna say a few things. He's here tonight representing One Oak because we're so close in proximity to our housing addition One Oak, and just as a partnership, we're gonna work with One Oak real close to make sure that there's a couple pressure lines there that we wanna make sure to avoid, and they're gonna work with us. And Keith, you want to say anything beyond that?
No, the only thing I wanted to do was put a face with the company. That way y'all know that we are here, we're an active member. Most of you are aware and know all the people at the service center with OEG. Well, we have the two transmission lines that come into town. One from the southwest, which feeds the city of Clinton, and then we've got a 12-inch that goes east out of town. Any work or anything like that that you do out there, we just want to work hand in hand with you folks. And that way, if we have to change, the way we classify our pipeline, the frequency at which we take care of the pipeline, any changes like that, we can work hand in hand with you folks to make sure we do that in a timely manner. We can't do that out in the field. We have to send that all through engineering, and y'all are all aware. So basically, I'm just here to try to put a face with it. And anything you folks need, just let us know, and we'll do what we can to help you out. And basically, that's all I have.
Well, Joe Ridley, our engineer, is working with One Oak, and we'll continue to work with them as the project expands and we start to do more out there. So I appreciate it, Keith. Thanks for coming here tonight.
Thank you, folks.
And that's really all I have for the industrial authority.
Always appreciate ONG. It'll always be ONG. My dad had 41 years plus with ONG.
I work closely with Bernie.
Yeah, I always think Joe Jefferson. There's a lot of the old guys that I know, so I must be getting to be an old guy myself.
It turns out I'm one of the oldest left.
I don't know how it happens, but
It sneaks up on us, doesn't it?
we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Audience participation for the Industrial Authority. If you have a question or comment related to anything the Industrial Authority might be involved in or doing, you're welcome to bring it at this time. Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the Industrial Authority.
Trustee Smith? Yes. Trustee Marcy?
Yes.
Trustee Hulan?
Yes.
Trustee Randolph?
Yes. That's easy to fix. We'll open up the regular meeting of the Clinton City Council and entertain a motion to approve the consent agendas, including all these special meetings that we have had.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy? Councilman Randolph?
Yes.
Councilman Hulan?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes. First action item is a cursory customary public hearing relating to the notice of annexation for the Robinson Edition. And basically, we'll open it up to any public comment related to the Robinson Edition. If we have any member of the audience that would like to speak related to the Robinson Edition, this is your opportunity to address the council. Not seeing any, I'll go ahead and close that public hearing up and move on to the second action item, consider ordinance 938 regarding annexation of the Robinson Edition. Steve?
We bought the property in Blue Housing, and it's not in the city limits. We want to put the city limits, it should be in the city limits, we recommend approval.
I always give Steve a chance to talk, and sometimes there's not a whole lot to say. So, any questions or comments related to this annexation? We've been moving towards this for a while. Questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance 938, annexation of Robinson Edition.
So moved.
Councilman Hulan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes, was this an emergency? Okay. Third item, consider transfer of ownership of property from the city of Clinton to the Industrial Authority. We've talked a little bit about this, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the other side of this.
I make a motion to approve it, since we already accepted it. I make the motion that we transfer this to the Industrial Authority.
Councilman Randolph?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Hulan?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes. Fourth action item, consider change order number 4 with Colony Construction for renovation of the police station. Chief was kind enough to give us a tour, and I'm totally thrilled. It's a neat facility. Hope they don't ever have to process me through, but that's a neat facility, so. Steve?
Council, this is actually a change order to the plus for the city. We made some changes in room signs and concrete flooring, and then we got a deduct on some bollards. We just went prime rather than galvanized, and so this is an addition for us to the plus of $240.
Any questions or comments from council related to this change order? Questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to approve change order number 4 with Colony Construction for the renovation of the police station.
Second.
Councilwoman Smith? Yes. Councilman Hulan?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? And Mayor?
Yes. Consider ordinance number 939 regarding amendment 110.3 of the Clinton City Code regarding appointment of the municipal judge. Steve, give us an overview on this. I know we all had it in our package.
Yeah, council, you got a conflict, as your charter states, that the city manager appoints the judge, and then the city code says the council appoints the judge. And this is a cleanup item. Actually, Don helped me, he noticed this and brought to my attention. I got it to Ryan, finally got this back to me, and we're ready to wrap this up. Just a cleanup item in our code.
Well, actually, the charter prevails because it was
Yes.
originally voted on by the people, and the charter says the city manager appoints municipal judge. And I noticed that, I was worried that the code said mayor, and with the advice and consent of the council. So this does need to be changed so it will comply with what the charter says.
Did we pick this up, do you think, when we changed, when we went through and did our new codification?
No, this was done
Okay.
I've got an old code book, and I looked at it.
I wondered if, yeah, well, that makes me feel good. But,
It's been that way a long time.
okay, good. Well,
I've got one of the old, green code books, and it was that way a long time, it's been that way a long time.
any questions or comments from council related to this amending 110.3 of the city code? Questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 939, amending 110-3 of the city code.
I so moved.
Councilman Rodoff?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy? Councilwoman Smith? Yes. Councilman Huglen?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes.
I'll make this, I won't talk long, but I'll make this comment, because when Pepper Meacham was mayor, he appointed me municipal judge, and he used the one division, the charter. Remember that, Wendy? That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I knew Mr. Beach. I was young enough that he was Mr. Beach. Next action item would be consider and adopt resolution 808 relating to the incurring of indebtedness by the Clinton Public Works Authority, waiving competitive bidding and declaring an emergency. Any questions from council? Let's pretty much follow along. We've had a couple of these. Any questions from audience? And entertain a motion to go ahead and approve resolution number 808.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 808.
Second.
Councilman,
There's an emergency.
You want to follow along or do it as we go?
So whatever you want to do, I just want to make that point though, so there's an emergency clause where it's, you know, like,
With the emergency clause.
Okay, so
Councilman Huglen?
Yes.
Councilman Rodoff?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith? Yes. And Mayor?
yes, we always got that. We either do it when you do it or catch it next right behind. It's not a big deal. Consider ordinance number 940 regarding closing of alleyway at new fire station, new site. Steve, any comments on
well,
this?
council, you had the public conversation about this, which is required first, and now this is just the actual action, the ordinance to close that. Obviously, you need to do that since you already started the project, but,
We'd already done that.
well, we had to have the conversation in public first, correct, Brian? And then now this actual ordinance after we've had that, and we approve those minutes.
They have to change the statute on it, so we have to go back, and we passed the resolution that said this is how we're gonna do it, and then we did it.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions on ordinance 940? Questions?
Second.
Councilman Rodoff?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith? Yes. Councilman Marcy?
Yes.
Councilman Huglen?
Yes.
And Mayor?
Yes, city manager's report for the city of Clinton council meeting.
I have nothing else to add.
At the risk of being run down a lot, do we have any updates on the water well? Still out for the.
You know, we had to send out a second test on the Haggard Road well, and we were also negotiating with the owner on the fees. And so that's pending the second testing that it could take up to 2 weeks, correct, Stephen, 2 weeks. It's really double checking those metal counts. I will say we've had some good news. I will give a quick update. We have good news. I'm working with a landowner out by Clinton Lake, and we expect to get some water out of those wells and negotiating on that now as well. So we'll continue that effort, and that's an ongoing thing. We're also talking to engineers. I mean, we're going to bring back some other options to you, I think, because I think it's an ongoing process. It's long term. We're going to the public works director, going to the governor's rural water conference next week, a couple days, kind of get some ideas on grants, funding, options that are out there. The drought's a big concern, and we'll continue this effort daily. Not a day goes by we don't talk about water, and Stephen's catched up and working with our engineers, well, Severn Trent, and then we'll continue that effort every day.
Appreciate the update. Audience participation. Well, first of all, any questions or additional comments from the council?
I think from the council, we'd all like to tell the citizens of the city of Clinton, we appreciate you for coming to all of our meetings on recycling and all of our ward meetings. And even coming to the mayor's forum, when we had those. It was just excellent participation, so we really appreciate our citizens for coming out.
Fills up our audience, and I love that, man, that's great. We've been here when there's been 2 or 3 and it's been sparse. Your lovely faces are a lot better, so we appreciate y'all being here, thank you. Audience participation, it's your chance, this is a catch-all, anything related to the city of Clinton that you would like to question, comment, or ask a question, you're welcome to do so at this time. We appreciate the comments. I know sometimes we get up here and we get in a hurry because we're trying to roll through things. When Lynn left, I think that was one thing that people made very clear. They wanted a chance to speak. And for those of you here, we try to give you every opportunity. And we appreciate the comments we get because it does, the comments, when somebody stands up and talks, you put yourself out there and people can say things. And so we appreciate the fact that you'll stand up and state what you think and believe. And we appreciate the comments we received. So we thank you. Not seeing anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the regular meeting of the Clinton City Council.
Second. Councilman Rodoff?
Yes.
Councilman Huglen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Marcy? And